Well, we have a very special guest joining us today on the Daily 8, that being Dyson Mingo. He is the captain of the Michigan State esports team, and he was recently named and ranked as the #1 Falco player in the entirety of North America. Dyson, before we kind of go through this interview, I really wanted to issue out some congratulations to you. That is a super big honor. Congratulations for that.
For sure. Thank you so much.
Of course. And, there are probably a couple of people watching that probably have no idea any of the words I just said about esports or Falco in particular. So if you wouldn't mind doing a little bit explaining for everybody, Dyson, who is Falco and why is this such a big deal?
Okay. Well, Falco's a character in Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Switch, and he's a very popular character. So to be ranked #1 in North America, I had to be the best out of anyone from America, Mexico, or Canada. And it's been a long time coming. I've been playing for a while, so I'm really proud to make that accomplishment.
Yeah, no, when you first learned that you were ranked as the #1 Falco player, I mean, what was that initial reaction? Were there maybe some cheers, some tears even? I mean, well, how did you feel when you first got the news?
I was pretty shocked. I mean, I've been practicing for very long, and that's just one of my goals for like a very long time, and I want to keep moving up. But when I initially saw it, I was just like, I was pretty shocked. It kind of came out of nowhere, but I think I deserve it. So I'm glad, I'm proud.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad that you are enjoying it and kind of reveling in the splendor of being named as the #1 Falco player. Talk to me, though, a little bit about, what is it about that character specifically with Super Smash Bros? There's so many different characters that you can choose from. What is it about Falco that kind of drew you there and has kind of been, your main character choice for so long now?
Like in a game with so many characters, 80 characters, there's a lot of characters to pick, but I just love his attributes, He's a great jumper, he's got great combos, and I can like really like make my opponent like feel helpless when I'm like keeping them stuck in a combo. So, that's definitely why I picked him.
Definitely. I mean, was there ever a time maybe when you were maybe split between another character? I mean, I'm assuming you've played with almost all of the characters, if not all of them. I mean, at what point did you kind of settle on Falco as the #1? Were there any other options maybe that was a little bit difficult to choose from?
There are a few. I mean, back in the game came out in December 2018, I uh I had a few plans and I worked through a few characters, but I kind of settled on Falco in April the next year. I decided that he's gonna be my guy, and I want to see how far I can push the character.
And clearly it's worked out for you. But I want to take you back. Obviously you've played video games for quite some time now, and now on a more competitive level. But can you remember maybe the first time, maybe even before you were really taking video games super seriously, that you can remember picking up a game controller and kind of first fiddling around with that and really kind of developing that love for video games?
Oh yeah, 100%. I can remember my first game was Sonic Riders on my PlayStation 2 when I was like about maybe 4 years old, and I've just been playing games ever since. I love games as a medium. I think they're one of the best ways to experience media. So, I've just been addicted to video games ever since. But it's been a fun ride.
Well, that was going to be a question I wanted to ask you, Dyson. Obviously, not everybody is super into video games. I can talk personally. I know a few people, some of my closest friends, they don't really like to play video games. They don't see the appeal to it. Older generations too, maybe kind of share that same sentiment. But you just touched on how much you love video games and how much they've helped you and mean to you. If you wouldn't mind kind of continuing on that thought just a little bit more about just the importance of video games in your own personal life and what they mean to you.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like, games are an interesting form of media as they can bring people together in a way that a lot of forms of media can't. A lot of forms of media aren't as interactive, like a book, a movie, a TV show, you're not getting involved in the outcome, but a game, you're directly involved in that experience. And being able to enjoy that experience with other people, being able to host tournaments, being able to have people come over to your house and play together, there's so many different ways to enjoy a game that, especially in a more personal level with someone else, it's a more of a group activity. And I think that that's a really good strength to the medium in general. Like games are just like magical,
Mhm.
and they hit different than any other form of media to me.
Right. No, again, a real bonding sort of way to, again, make those connections and kind of keep them going. Video games do bring a lot of people together. You can play them wherever you're at, as long as you've got connection to the internet, you can probably play with some of your friends online as well. You probably make quite a few friends on the Michigan State's esports team as well. I can imagine you are the captain of the team. Back-to-back conference championships as well. I mean, a lot of success over in East Lansing. I mean, it feels pretty good to not only be the number one player in North America, but then also kind of have the team success as well, right?
Well, yeah, it feels incredible. I'm glad that our team just continues to set the standard, continues to get better and better. Like Michigan State, we had decently humble beginnings. We had the varsity program began my sophomore year, and half our players weren't even recruits. We had
Mhm.
walk-ons, and we just like we worked through that. We worked through like not having like an insane team off the beginning, and we just like kept improving our players, putting them in more competitive spots, and we just got better and better, man. Like we played 3 or 4 times a week. We'd practice all the time. We entered so many tournaments, and we just kept like learning, improving, and like finding new ways to love the game. And I think it shows in our performance. We're like undefeated in this season's leagues, and we won the last two
Mhm.
championships, and we're planning on winning this one too. We put our effort in, we put our foot down, and we try to get the win. And we love it.
Yeah, right. Lots of success. I mean, we're just looking at some photos right now, and all I saw were smiling faces and a lot of trophies being held amongst the team. So, again, a lot of success happening for Michigan State right now. Dice, I got to ask you a different kind of question, though, because obviously you've kind of helped grow the Michigan State esports team into what they are today and have kept up that success, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger. But for anybody else that's maybe watching right now, maybe they're a younger kid, a high school age kid, maybe looking at their future on the collegiate level, looking at where they want to go and roll at. And maybe they do have an interest in video games. Maybe they have an interest in esports. I mean, for anybody that is looking to possibly get to where maybe you're at right now, I mean, any wise words of advice you'd like to pass along to anybody?
No, I would say take that first step. Put yourself out there, put yourself in a position where you can learn from someone that has more knowledge than you. You know, no one on the team did it by themselves. We
Mhm.
all had a team that pushed us further to make us, smarter, to make us stronger. Um, and there's so many different opportunities in esports as well. There's plenty of career opportunities in production and marketing, advertising and such. Like esports is growing as an organization, like as a medium, and it just continues to grow. There's so many games that have that competitive side to it, and there's so many games that like are casual and competitive. So,
Mhm.
I think it makes sense to just like put yourself out there, keep practicing and researching ways that you can get involved because, like any step is a great step. And like there's always someone out there. It's a really welcoming community. So just ask, put yourself there.
Mhm. Great advice. Couldn't have said it better myself. Dyson, again, congratulations on the number one ranking, and also congrats to all the success for Michigan State. But for anybody that is watching and maybe wants to kind of keep up with your journey and Michigan State's journey throughout the rest of the year, kind of looking forward to that third consecutive conference championship, I mean, what is the best way for everybody to check out what you guys are doing, as far as maybe some of these competitions are going, and also maybe just staying up to date on what's going on with the team?
Well, there's plenty of ways that you could reach us. I think that a really great way to get involved is just following our X and our Instagram, esports at MSU, I believe. That's where you get all information about our latest lands, our latest online events, our latest competitions, our latest wins. Like
Mhm.
there's like our Twitter and Instagram. And if you're a gamer like us, then you gotta join our Discord. There's so many ways to like get involved in the community, but just like definitely just check our socials out for sure.
Right.
We'll keep posting our wins, we'll keep posting our losses, we'll keep posting our improvement. You'll see our success and you'll see our growth right there.
All right, great stuff. And as a reminder to everybody, we do have more information on Michigan State's esports team and the news about Dyson Mingo. You can check that all out right now inside our story over on our website, woodtv.com. Dyson, thank you so much for stopping by today. We so do appreciate it. And once again, congratulations.
For sure. Thank you so much for having me. Have a great one, guys.